What's up, guys? Good afternoon. Spraying some alcohol on my hands before I get this stream started. It's 12:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, March 23rd, 2020. And as of today, Philadelphia, PA, a county in Pennsylvania, is required and mandated all residents stay indoors starting 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're actually about 4 hours into our mandatory stay indoors. I'm just gonna chat with you guys, drink a little bit of water, first and foremost. Kind of thirsty. We'll go over what that means. I have an orange or two here, so I'm gonna be eating the orange. I got the laptop in front of me, so you guys might see me staring down. I'm just staring at the laptop. I figured it'd be cool so I can pull like articles or whatnot and just talk to you guys about it, break it down. Some people don't really like to read. I don't mind reading, so I figure I'll pull up some articles. So basically what that stay-at-home order means is the government and the governor has requested that all Philadelphia citizens stay inside unless you are required to go out for work reasons. So if you are in one of those fields of employment that are a necessity to everyday life, food, meaning supermarkets, mainly supermarkets, grocery stores, medical, pharmacies, Rite Aid, etc., CVS, Walgreens, hospitals, nurses, I'm assuming nursing homes, things of that nature. I believe mechanic shops are still open because mechanic shops are considered a necessity in case your car breaks down. Gas stations are still open. But all the places that are required to be closed are the ones that are non-essential. So that's eat-in locations. Wherever you sit down, you eat in. There's supposed to be no dining cafeterias open. Clothing stores, barbershops are supposed to be closed. Theaters, anything recreational, anything that's non-essential is required to be closed. Today, they are going to be periodically going around the city of Philadelphia. LNI is going to be issuing fines. They're going to be issuing fines to these businesses. They're not solely focused on the citizens. They can't control the citizens. They can't keep all of the citizens indoors. So they're going to be mainly focused on the businesses. They're going to be fining them and or creating court orders for their business to be shut down. So with that being said, for the people who are still on the streets, this is a city of 1 point something million. I don't know, 1.7 million. We have a lot of people in Philadelphia, and there's not enough police officers to outnumber the citizens. But there will still be people traveling. I will be one of them. I was one of them, and I will continue to be one of them until something greater is announced. But upon, I believe, the lockdown heightening at its max, fines may or may not be given to individual citizens. Like I said, I repeat, this is a large city. It's a lot more complicated. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because they've learned from experience through other countries who have combated the sickness that's going around, that a lockdown is the best way to minimize the spread and minimize the numbers. Now, what does that mean? That means if there's still people out there and engaging, which there's still plenty of people, we've seen them all this past week when I was shooting live footage. If there's still people out there engaging and hanging out in groups, there's still a potential possibility of spread. So since people are still out there engaging and they didn't take it serious, they had to announce the citywide lockdown. That was announced by the governor. Now, how serious are people going to take it? I'm unsure. This is Philly. This is the country of freedom. We have freedom. We're allowed to do what we want. We're allowed to say what we want. We're allowed to pretty much live however we want. It's our choice. You know, they don't govern it to that extent. But a lot of people were getting confused. They were calling the state or the city lockdown MS or ML. I'm not going to say the full terminology, but Marshall and the next word is L. That's not it. It's a difference. And it's like, it's up to each one of us to, take it upon ourselves to be a responsible citizen and to not continue to spread this illness that's going around. Now, how can you do that? You can do that while still traveling. It's very feasible, very possible to do that while traveling. A, never touch your face, your nose, your mouth, your eyes. Keep them away. And if you do, have some type of alcohol, some hand sanitizer, some type of disinfectant. Personally, I prefer alcohol over hand sanitizer. I was out alcohol shopping in January before hand sanitizer was sold out. I prefer alcohol. I believe it's more pure. It's a pure, disinfectant. Although if you like hand sanitizer, you can go with hand sanitizer. There's nothing better than hot soap or hot water and soap. If you don't have a hot water, then cold water. Cold water it is. I'm used to cold water. But if you have hot water and soap, that's going to be key to fighting the bacteria. You must always wash your hands before touching your food. I know me, like, I'm a mechanical person. I'm a hands-on gearhead, you can say. So I might go and I might fix a car. I might go work with some struts or some rotors or something. And then if I go make a sandwich, the grease still be on my hands, and I just don't sit there and wash it all off. I just eat the sandwich, and I don't really care. But those little basic minor steps are gonna have to change. You know what I mean? Now, that virus doesn't live on every surface. To my knowledge, it lives on cardboard for up to 24 hours. It lives on metal and wood for up to, what, 3 days. It lives in the air for about an hour. I've been on top of this like white on rice. There's not much that you can tell me that I don't already know, or that I haven't been locked in my cave researching. So the best advice that I can give you guys for this time of lockdown, wherever you're at, I know there's a lot more cities that have been in lockdown before we've been in lockdown. We just, started the lockdown today. There's been cities that's been locked down for the last 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I mean? There's been cities that's been locked down for a while. But what I could recommend to you guys is, if you have to go out, be swift, be quick, do what you have to do, and be cautious of your environment, your surrounding, and keep distance between people. Now, don't treat people like they got the plague. Don't sit there and push them away when they're already 6 feet away, because it's not like it's just gonna magically flow from one sinus to the other. It's spread through bodily fluid. That's like if somebody had HIV or AIDS, you wouldn't treat them different. You wouldn't say, "Get away from me," because they have AIDS or they have HIV. Like, it doesn't spread that way. It has to be spread through bodily fluid. It's not an airborne virus. It's not like one of those type of things where it's airborne, where if it was airborne, believe me, we'd all get it, whether we was indoors or not, especially with me with all these little cracks and crevices that I got around me. So it's not like that. It's more or less just, if you practice proper hygiene, if you're an educated individual, and you don't even have to be so educated. We should have been washing our hands a long time ago. So it's not about being educated or not being educated, but it's about practicing basic hygiene skills. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to follow. It's not rocket science. For everybody who's commenting, I'm sorry, I'm not focused on the comments. I'm here just trying to articulate myself. Matter of fact, I'm about to take a piece of this orange. Got an orange right here. I believe this has vitamin D, right? Vitamin D? It has some type of vitamins in it. Is it vitamin C or vitamin D? Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. Y'all about to watch me eat this orange. Yeah. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody is okay. Hope everybody is doing swell today. on this rainy afternoon. It's raining over here in Philly. It's a shame because I was supposed to do a, what you call it, a Philadelphia hood tour today. But unfortunately, because of the rain, I'm going to have to plan my day accordingly. And I still got to go out there later a few times and go mix and mingle. But I do it accordingly. You see, there's some people out there that they're what they call social. There's some people that's antisocial. There's some people who need to be in groups, and there's some people that don't need to be in groups. I'm one of the ones that don't need to be in groups. I don't need to be around anyone else. I have my dog. My dog's my best partner. You know what I mean? And my dogs are, you know, they say man's best friend. The dog's the man's best friend, right? Best friend. Welcome everybody who's coming to the chat. You know, hope everybody's having a good day. I'm about to pull up a Google article and we're gonna read into the details. That's what I'm here for, to read and enlighten my viewers. I do want to make note, man, my hands are so sticky right now. That's one thing that alcohol comes in handy for. Let me continue to look at the screen. I have some orange on my lip. Pull up Philadelphia. Shut down. Right here. I'm going to read the article, or read any article. I already read several, but I'm just going to pull up like a random one. All right, 20 hours ago. Here we go. So here we go. Philadelphia stay-at-home order. All right, y'all. So we're going to talk about the Philadelphia stay-at-home order. This is what it means for us as residents of Philadelphia. It may vary from county to county. I know each governor was supposed to basically take it upon themselves to enforce it. All right, so significant developments. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney has ordered residents to stay at home starting 8 a.m. Monday. A similar order goes into effect in Delaware 8 a.m. Tuesday. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf warns that state shutdown orders could last longer than expected. Wolf and legislative leaders agree on deal to postpone the April 28th primary election until June 2nd. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy banned public gatherings of any size and ordered a statewide business shutdown as the number, I got a pop-up that just popped up, as the number of confirmed cases of blank, I don't use that terminology here, anything close to it, I don't use it here, there rose to 1,914 cases. First deaths, that's probably a bad word to even utilize in this stream. First depths, the depths of the darkest depths of my soul. First D reported in Montgomery County and Camden County. All right, let's scroll down. Let's see if we can get some more on the Philadelphia lockdown. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what KYW News is telling us. All right, here we go. KYW 1060 AM. Remember that radio station? If y'all not from Philly, KYW be like, KYW 1060. Yo, check this out. So updated at 3:09 p.m., I believe that was yesterday, it says, Philadelphia, KYW News Radio, the city of Philadelphia has issued a stay-at-home order for residents effective Monday, 8 a.m. until further notice. Managing, pop-ups keep popping up, Managing Director Brian Abernathy announced the order Sunday after city officials consulted with the Wolf administration. The order comes along revised restrictions on essential businesses. All public and private gatherings of any number of people outside of a single home are prohibited. Outside of a single home are prohibited. Good luck trying to control that. All residents must remain at home unless for essential purposes. Essential purposes are if you got to go to work. If you got to go to work, you got to go out and you got to travel. There's still dozens of businesses that are still open. I know people personally. I know 10 or 15 people that still got to go to work. There's a lot of people that I know that don't got to go to work. There's a bunch of people that I know that still got to go to work. So work will be essential. Food, if you have to go off of food, that's essential. If you got to go off of gas, that's essential. Kerosene, that's essential. Hardware stores, to my knowledge, I believe hardware stores are still open in order to, hardware. I think hardware falls under that essential category, and several other stores. Okay, so it says other activities permitted under the order. Permitted, keyword permitted, which you're allowed to do. Other activities permitted under the order including caring for family, friends, or animal, exterminating, appliance and electronics repair, public safety, and outdoor exercise with proper social distancing. So we're still gonna see all our joggers jogging. We know they take over the city, and the thing is that since they closed down Planet Fitness and Bali Total Fitness and all of that stuff, since they closed them down, what's going to happen is people are still going to go out and jog because there's people who are committed every day to doing physical activity. So if they're committed to running on the treadmill, they're going to continue running on the treadmill. You understand? They're going to continue running on the treadmill, whether it's not a real life treadmill or it's going to be jogging on the street. They're used to that physical posture. So they're going to continue running. To whoever donated $2, thank you. Appreciate it. Generally appreciate it. I just see that number. I'm not really focused too much on the screen, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to convey this message. But there's still going to be people out there exterminating, exercising. But they say do it with proper social distancing. Exterminators, I guess, mice, bugs, termites, ticks. You're still allowed to exterminate. Friends, to care for friends or family, what does that mean? That simply means, let's say you have a family member that is an elder who needs medical care. Well, you're allowed to go and get them whatever they need. If you have somebody in their senior age, 60s, 70s, 80s, and they need help, you're allowed to take them places. You're allowed to go visit them. You're allowed to be their caregiver. Animals, if your pet needs food, I believe pet shops are still open too. Crystal, thank you very much, ma'am. And I do apologize. I believe the other stream I did say Mr. by mistake. That's because I stutter and sometimes my speech gets messed up. But thank you. Yeah. So animal pet shops are still going to be open. Meaning, if you got to go out and get your pet food, I think Petco, Monster Pets, those places are still open. And as you can see, we just named several essential places that are still functioning. That means staff still needs to drive to those locations and shifts still need to change. So there'll still be traffic on the road. Public safety would be like L&I is still going to be out there working. I believe the highwaymen, the highway patrol dudes, the dudes who are on the highway, they're still going to be working. My nose itch. Is there saying for when your nose itch? You know how they say when your hand itch, it means something? Does it mean something when your nose itch? Am I going to get $1 million? Yeah, so outdoor exercise with proper social distancing. So for those of you who are going to go and jog and go and exercise, just don't run like hip to hip, run with some space, especially when you're running because you sweat, you perspire, and that's going to cause, bodily fluids to be exchanged. And I don't know, I don't have no confirmation on whether or not it's going to mean like that you can get it from your sweat glands, but I do know you can get it from bodily fluids. Abernathy made clear that though there are exceptions, they shouldn't be treated as an outing. I repeat, Abernathy made clear that although there are exceptions, they shouldn't be treated as an outing. Grocery stores should discourage leisure or idle conduct and manage store occupancy to allow for social distancing, he cautioned. So, what does that mean? To my knowledge, what that means simply is, I also read in another article where if you go to Acme, let's say you go visit Acme, right? You go to Acme and you're shopping. They're supposed to allow a limited number of customers into the store. It's enough, but not enough to where it won't be long lines and people won't be elbow to elbow. Now, I will make note that this past week I went to Acme, and the second I walked into Acme, the very first thing I saw when I walked into Acme, yo, right? My nose itch. The very first thing that I saw when I walked into Acme, what Acme? The very first thing I saw when I walked into Acme, in our Acme, they sell alcoholic beverages too. So like the double doors were right in front of me, right? There's the vegetable section, here's the food aisles, and there's alcoholic beverages right here. There's a security guard right here. So the alcoholic beverages are behind the security guard. When I walked into the Acme, I saw a whole line of adults with alcoholic beverages waiting in line to pay because that's a separate line to pay. That should not be acceptable for future reference. So if that Acme supervisor happens to be watching this, which I highly doubt it, but if that Acme supervisor, any supervisor out there who runs a supermarket happens to click this and watch it, you're not supposed to let that many customers into your place where it gets overwhelmed and crowded. Because I can admit it, I don't mind if we're in a public place, in a store or something, we're standing in a line. I don't mind if, sometimes you're in a line and, you got to be close to people. But this past week, I was like dipping and dodging like the Matrix. I was like, whoa, get away from me. Whoa, like, whoa. But like to an extent where I wasn't telling them get away from me or I wasn't like making it physical, but I knew it was my role to control my body. So if I got too close to them, I just took a step back or to swerve this way. I didn't make it obvious. You know what I mean? That's unnecessary. Idle leisure. Grocery stores should discourage idle leisure, meaning people who are just standing around. That again will be standing in line, standing waiting for anything. You should always be moving. You know what I mean? The aisles shouldn't be packed. While the order does not affect delivery or food or essential goods, restaurants that offer takeout can no longer allow customers inside. People must order in advance for curbside pickup. I've seen a lot of restaurants, and one that I had a real big problem with? I've seen a lot of restaurants open recently, and the one that I had a real big problem with, there was like two, but the main one that I had a real big problem with was Dunkin' Donuts. Why is Dunkin' Donuts still open during this time? I seen a bunch. I drove by at least a half a dozen Dunkin' Donuts who were all open. I'm going to drink on that because I'm kind of getting parched. I saw a half a dozen Dunkin' Donuts that were still open. And I felt like that's not wise. You know why I say that's not wise? Because Dunkin' Donuts is so heavily... let me phrase that sentence differently. Dunkin' Donuts is so heavily used, and there's a lot of traffic going to Dunkin' Donuts. A lot of people. Not me, myself. I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't been one in years. But a lot of people use Dunkin' Donuts. Now, where does that come into a problem and clash with what's going around right now? Is that people touch the door handles. People touch the PIN cards to put their debit PIN numbers. People touch the refrigerator to grab a lemonade or grab a Minute Maid or whatever they grab. You understand? People got to wait in that line. That's considered idle. That's leisure. You don't want that leisure idle because you don't know what can happen within that leisure idle. I don't think Dunkin' Donuts should be open, and I don't know if they're going to be in this new Philadelphia state or new Philadelphia county new closing that we have going on today. There's supposed to be a bunch of businesses closing. Dunkin' Donuts should fall under one of them, and I'll tell you why. Wawa, for example, not too long ago, last week, I seen somebody put up an imagery of Wawa and said something about that Wawa was now pouring drinks for you. I'm not a coffee drinker. I never drunk coffee. I never cared for it. I don't even like hot beverages. I don't like hot liquid. Like my soup, I drain my soup dry and I just eat the noodles. I'm very picky with my food. I have a very specific way how I make it. But People who drink coffee, the post said, was now when you go to Wawa, none of the coffee containers are out. You have to wait for a staff to pour for you, right? I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm scratching my head, like, but why in the world is Wawa still open? You know why? Because Wawa is just like Dunkin' Donuts. It's so heavily used, and people touch the door handles, people touch the keypads, people grab the refrigerators to grab drinks or whatnot, or put stuff back, and that's it easily how something gets spread, right? Bam. Now here's my next point I'm trying to make. The end of that night, when I saw that post and I happened to comment on the gentleman, I said, yo, buddy, like, I'm not a coffee drinker, but if I was a coffee drinker, this would be a perfect time to make coffee at home so you can be control of the full sanitary conditions. You know what I mean? Like, why in the world would you want somebody else handling your coffee? But at the end of that night, bam, it was announced on the news that a local Wawa had to be shut down for a confirmed case. Boom. What you think's gonna happen with the Dunkin' Donuts and with some of them places? So, if anything, maybe a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through could be open. I mean, if y'all need it that bad. But like at the end of the day, look at you staying at home. Just buy the coffee and make it at home. This is the time for you to get close to your family. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. You know what I mean? Like, this is a time for you to unite with your loved ones. Like, no joke. And people are getting stressed out, and it's like back in the day, before cell phones, before iPads, before TVs, or before flat screen TVs and video game systems. Could you imagine how bored they were when they went through the same thing 100 years ago? Just chill and be in the house, dog. Like, you know what I mean? At least y'all got people to bust it up with. I got Jersey and my esposa es trabajando. Say no, but yeah, you know what I mean? So let's continue to read. There's no playbook for the situation, and we're doing our best in light of the evolving health care situation to do what is best, he said. Here is the full text of the order. You ready? I'm going to read the stay inside order. This is the government stay inside order that I'm about to read, guys. The source is www.kywnewsradio.com. Every time I think of KYW, I got to think of that little jingle. Like, that jingle is so catchy that it makes you just want to say it every time. KYW 1060. Yeah, that's so cool. I got to come up with my own jingle, right? Like 2215, 215. It don't work the same. It just doesn't work. All right, so here's the stay inside official order. You ready? City of Philadelphia, Office of the Mayor, Department of Public Health. Emergency order temporarily prohibiting operations of non-essential businesses and congregation of persons to prevent the spread of 2019 novel blank blank blank. Order number 2. Whereas on March 6, 2020, in response to the 2019 novel blank 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 blank, the governor of Pennsylvania issued a proclamation of disaster emergency. And whereas, I need some water. You guys gonna have to give me a second because I'm kind of like. Whereas on March 11th, 2020, the World Health Organization declared blank outbreak a global catastrophe. There's certain terminology here that I'm choosing not to use. I'm sorry, guys. I'm choosing not to use it. But if you want to read the actual closed order, you can always visit kyww.com. I'm just going to sum it up for you guys. Whereas on March 11, 2020, the mayor of Philadelphia issued a declaration of extraordinary circumstance that allows city regulations related to addressing the blank to become effective immediately upon transmission of the Department of Records. And whereas on March 12, 2020, the Board of Health added blank to the city's list of reportable and quarantinable blanks. Whereas, I'm sorry, guys, it continues to say whereas. Each one of these lines in bold say whereas. So I got to read the whereas. Whereas on March 12th, 2020, the Commissioner of Health issued an emergency order that forbids gatherings of 1,000 or more persons to prevent the spread of blank. And whereas on March 13th, 2020, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say blank, right? The blank, all right? I don't want y'all to think that I'm crazy. Like, why is he saying blank? Like, we know what blank means. Blank is the reason why we're all shut down, all right? So let's just be hip with it. Whereas March 13th, oh no, let me go back to the top line. Whereas on March 12, 2020, the Commissioner of Health issued an emergency order that forbids gatherings of 1,000 or more persons to prevent the spread of blank. And whereas on March 13th, 2020, the mayor issued a declaration of emergency related to blank that, in conjunction with the governor's proclamation, enhanced the city's ability to take action to address the blank impact in Philadelphia. Wow, this is a lot. There's three more, y'all. There's three more. Whereas on March 16th, 2020, the governor of Pennsylvania announced that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is imposing mitigation efforts to curtail the spread of blank uniformly across the Commonwealth, calling upon non-essential businesses, excluding businesses such as grocery stores and medical facilities, to close to close beginning at midnight Tuesday, March 17th. So I wonder, since this little declaration says grocery stores and medical facilities, I wonder if now auto mechanic shops and things of that nature have to be closed as well. Because earlier on when we read the debriefing, it said that those things were still allowed. But you know what I mean? So here we go. Whereas on March 17th, 2020, the mayor and the commissioner of health jointly issued an emergency order prohibiting operation of non-essential business to prevent the spread of blank. And here's the last line, guys. Whereas on March 19th, 2020, we're on March 23rd right now. March 19th, 2020, the governor of Pennsylvania announced that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania ordered all non-life sustaining businesses in Pennsylvania to close their physical. Oh wow, there's actually more lines. I'm talking about this is the last one. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, let's all learn together. Learning is power. Knowledge is power, depending on how you use it. Locations of APM. So let's go back up so that sentence can make sense, because the way that I read it, it pretty much doesn't make much sense. All right, so Pennsylvania to close their physical locations as of 8 p.m. March 19th to slow the spread of blank, and that enforcement actions against businesses that do not close physical locations will begin at 12:01 a.m. Saturday, March 21st. So I'm assuming on Saturday, March 21st is when they started doing the little fining, giving people fines and court orders. Like, they would go up to your business. If you had a business that was still open, to go inside, L&I will put a shutdown notice on your window. And that's not what you want to do, and that's going to leave you with a fine and all that stuff. So to any of the business owners, I would kind of take this seriously, especially if you don't fall under that category. This past week, I seen something where this female, she saw females still going out to hair shops. And it was so funny because she said, why are you guys going to hair shops to get your weave and to get your hair done? It's not like you could go anywhere. The clubs are closed. The bars are closed. What are you going to do? Like, that was kind of funny. And it's true. It's like, there's really no reason to go out there and get a haircut right now. Like, who are you going to impress? Your family? No, yo, that's funny. Whereas the governor of Pennsylvania updated the aforementioned order and list of life-sustaining and non-life-sustaining businesses on March 20th, 2020, and again on March 21st, 2020. And whereas, why did I gotta say whereas every time the sentence starts? I feel repetitious. COVID-19, ooh, I almost went crazy with it. I'm not supposed to read that, y'all, and I'm sorry. That's why I keep pulling in the little blanks, because the little filter system is dirty. Filter system does you dirty. Even if y'all out there who's typing stuff, it'll filter you whatever y'all writing to, and it'll send my video to the back burners. So if you want to help this video be seen, give it a thumbs up, please. You know, you can comment on the video itself. Commenting on the live stream is cool and it helps. But always when the video ends, you can always comment on the video, and this will help the video get seen, so the video doesn't get put on the back burner. You can't donate any physical income or financial income, but you can always donate a thumbs up. So thank you. Whereas the governor of Pennsylvania updated the aforementioned order to the list of non-life sustaining and non-life sustaining businesses on March 20th, 2020, and again on March 21st. I felt like we just read that. Let me scroll down. I'm sorry, guys. Whereas blank may remain viable for hours to days on surfaces made from a variety of materials located in businesses and other places, thus contaminating certain property and places. And before we continue, remember earlier on in the stream I was talking about the lifespan that it lives on certain surfaces? I was learning about it lives about 24 hours on cardboard surfaces versus living 3 days on metal and plastic surfaces. Now, the scientists were saying that they believe that it doesn't last as long on cardboard surfaces because cardboard absorbs it versus metal and plastic and maybe glass allows it to sit on the surface and it doesn't get absorbed. But keep that in mind. If you guys are receiving any packages, for those of you who are ordering, my advice is when the package comes in, grab that package with some gloves, with some mittens, take that package, whether it's from Amazon or from eBay or something. My personal advice, you don't have to take my advice, but my personal advice is, since it lives on cardboard for 24 hours and it lives on plastic longer, so like if you receive like a plastic Amazon sleeve, like I'm looking at one, I got an envelope over there from a package that they sent me, and it's plastic. Sit that package in the basement or sit it somewhere, sit it outdoors for 3 or 4 days and just let it air out. And when you open it up with caution. And if you can, take the items and wipe them down with a little Clorox wipe and just wipe everything down thoroughly, just so that you don't breathe any particles that came with the package. Because I know, for example, New York ships a lot of things out. California ships a lot of things out. We're talking about places, even China ships a lot of things out. And those are, I don't think they're doing shipping now within the past 2-3 months since this has happened. But in America, we're still shipping. And if all the states are currently infected, somewhere, some sort, it's a good potential that you may receive something that has some bacteria particles on it. Especially since they confirmed employees of Amazon's, one of their main warehouses in, I believe, Brooklyn, New York, was confirmed to have cases as well. So imagine if that employee was sick that day at work and he's, touching 20, 30, 40 packages, and he was in maybe for 7 or 8 hours or whatever, and while he's at work he's touching stuff, sneezing on the stuff, and he's shipping these packages and probably sending packages all over. Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. I know everybody's commenting. I got like 100 comments. I haven't really been into with them. Brett Wallace, what's up, good sir? Positive vibes, my friend. My wife still wears that hoodie, man. He said, good to see you. How you holding up? I'm holding up swell, sir. I hope you are doing well also, my friend. I'm just here trying to update the viewers on our new stay-at-home order that we are now facing today, March 23rd. I'm reading the government's order right here. So it says, whereas blank can cause severe disease and passing or perishing. We're going to use them words in replacement of the really bad word. Particularly in older adult and or vulnerable populations. Now, just because they say older adults are more likely to, it doesn't mean that young people can't. It does not mean that. I repeat, it doesn't mean that. Children have teens, young adults in their 20s, 30s. Yes, they, don't think that you're, vulnerable, that you're a superhero and that you cannot get infected with it, because it doesn't discriminate on color, it doesn't discriminate on gender, it doesn't discriminate on class, it doesn't discriminate on any part of the world, because it's in all countries in the world right now. This is a global thing. So, whereas pursuant to authority set forth in the Philadelphia Code, inherent authority set forth in the Philadelphia Home Rule Charter and state law, the mayor has broad authority to set forth limitations on public activities during a state of national health emergency. And whereas, wow, I feel like I'm reading the whole law order here, guys, and there's 10 pages of this. So I'm not going to read all 10 pages because this is a lot of technical stuff. But again, if you want to read this government document, this is an actual government order. If you want to read the same order that I'm reading, all you have to do is visit KYWnewsradio.com. And there's a variety of other news sources out there that have information leading to it. But this is the first time I've seen the exclusive. This is like stamped by the city of Philadelphia. This is the official news to public orders, to stay in. And it's order number 2. So I wonder what happens if there's an order number 3. Because what happened was they wouldn't even have put this order out if people would have complied and just stood in. If people would have complied and stood in, they wouldn't put this order out. They're only going to make it even worse when people continue to go out and do whatever they want. Now, I mean, to each his own. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to comply to the best of my ability, with the exception of, like I said, if there's certain places that I have to go, food, et cetera, gas, et cetera, then we got to do what we got to do. I personally don't mind being indoors. I don't know what you guys have been doing for fun. What have you guys been doing to keep your mind peaceful? I tell you something. I don't know if you guys remembered on my channel in the beginning of this year, I started several different segments on a weekly basis, different shows, Mulashi 96, Slang 101, 5 Interesting Facts, Guitar Basics. I started several shows with some of my people, right? And we were posting them weekly. Bam, bam, bam. I was shooting them, editing them, uploading, right? Since I took this temporary break from uploading that stuff, and now I'm just going to focus on this for the next couple of weeks until it clears back up, then we're going to go back to our original schedule. But I'll tell you something. I find myself kind of I wouldn't say bored, but I'm so used to just, editing and bam, bam. I'm used to editing and I'm used to shooting and I'm used to setting up the tripods and setting up the lights and setting everything up, to where right now it's like cricket. Like I hear crickets and I'm just wondering and I'm just doing stuff that I wouldn't say normally wouldn't do, but I'm being really detail oriented. Like I'm focusing on how the wires are folded. I'm focusing on how everything and then I'm OCD I'm OCD a lot, you know what I mean? So now I'm nitpicking and doing a lot of things to use my time wisely. But if you guys are having trouble to find out orange, if you guys don't have your orange, make sure you get an orange. Orange helps boost your immune system. And it's a closed item. You understand that? It's a closed item, so you have a pretty good chance of eating clean food. Somebody wanted that. I dropped it all on my sweater, right? No, I'm kidding. Remember when they said that when you was a kid? If you dropped food and you was eating around your friend, they were like, somebody wanted that. Why is this orange so orange, though, right? This orange is almost like the color of the rims that's on my vehicle. It's so ruby, dark orange, right? Make sure to eat oranges, guys. They help boost your immune system. All right. So I'm going to continue to read this KYW news article. New cases confirmed in Philadelphia. Health Commissioner Dr. Thomas Farley also announced 11 new cases of blank, bringing Philadelphia's total to 96. Yo! If you're new to my channel, go visit my other videos and go check out Mulashi 96. Mulashi 96 just went on a little vacation. He out and about. He took a submarine to some magical island, and he's hiding under a rock next to Squidward and Patrick, and living right up the block from SpongeBob. So just know that Mulashi 96 will be back in the future. But it's crazy how the news article actually say, bringing Philadelphia's total to 96. This is a time where Mr. 96, Mr. Mulashi 96 would have shined. But bringing Philadelphia's total to 96, 16 of which are healthcare workers. He cautioned that as not all laboratories reported over the weekend, those numbers would likely rise this week. 165 people were tested for the virus at the new South Philadelphia testing site outside of Citizens Bank Park. The majority of them were healthcare workers. Farley said healthcare workers with symptoms remain the first priority for testing. And that will conclude this report. Now, as I told you guys, the way testing is going to work at these sites, the sites are going to focus on the health of their staff, the healthcare workers, the nurses, and the people who work in the hospital environments. They're going to be the first ones to get tested. They get the priority because they can't take care of you if they're sick. You wouldn't want nobody taking care of you who's sick. Secondary, they're going to be taking care of the senior citizens. anybody who's above 50. And then third, or tertiary, that's how I like to say, they take care of anybody who's below 50, who's like, a kid to below 50. Now, if you have underlying health conditions, that's more of a reason to take this serious. If you have, I guess, high blood pressure, diabetes, if you have any strong, STDs like the family of HIV, AIDS, and all that stuff, I think that's probably more serious health conditions. If you have like a whole list of underlying health conditions, you guys should take this serious. For the people who don't have underlying health conditions, don't think you're invincible. There's still plenty of people out there who got sick and went through a heck. I'm not gonna say HE double hockey sticks, but they went through a heck fighting it. So make sure that you just do whatever you can to take the necessary precautions, to just beware, care about your loved ones, check on your loved ones. If you know anybody that needs help, give them help. I actually had to call one of my old heads. Her name is Tita. I had to call her like 2 days ago. We placed a phone call. I'll be dead honest with you. I actually had to get my wife to do it because even though Tita seen me grow up when I was a kid, she's primarily a Spanish speaker. And I feel like she doesn't really know me. Like, I can't articulate myself to her like I would in English. You see how I could talk to y'all and I could sound, educated, right? In Spanish, I know like basic words like apple and tongue and eye and like really simple words. So I wanted to ask her if she was okay and if she needed help going out shopping. And she even told me, she's in a senior home. She told me that they got her senior home on lockdown. So even if she needed help, they wasn't gonna let me go in there and help her. But I just wanted to let her know that, that we were thinking of her. If she needed help, she said, but if she does need help, she's just gonna let us know, and that, we can help her get whatever materials that she needs. And this is a time to think about people. When I was, driving like 2 days ago, I'm in traffic, and the dudes who hold signs. Now, I'm not a bank. I don't walk around with a pot of gold that I'm willing to give to everybody, or that I have to give to everybody. You know what I mean? I'm still a starving artist myself. However, I remember there was this dude. He probably looked like he was in his mid-30s, and he was with a sign. And at the time, I knew I didn't have no physical cash. I don't keep cash on me. That's one thing especially in the age of like cards. Everything is debit card or something. I don't really keep physical cash on me, especially with this stuff going around. You don't want to deal with physical cash. That's another thing. That's a heads up, y'all. Be very cautious with physical cash. Remember, cash is dirty enough as it is. Before this whole thing came, cash has been the dirtiest for years. People use cash and stuff cash everywhere, from their shoes to their boxers to their butts to their bras. They put cash everywhere. Cash is dirty. They drop it on the floor. They roll up stuff with it. They break stuff on it. They snort stuff with the cash. Cash is dirty. So before this, cash, you should have been always cautious with it. But I don't really keep cash on me. So what happened was, I remember being inside traffic 2 days ago, and I saw this gentleman, Caucasian gentleman. He was walking with a sign. And normally if I have change in my vehicle, listen, there's a saying that I learned not too long ago. I would say like a year and a half, 2 years ago, which makes sense. The saying goes like, if you're not willing to give somebody 10 cents from $1 when you're broke, what makes the higher powers believe that you're going to give them 100,000 from a million? Or, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't share right now when you're hurting or when you're broke, what makes them think that you're going to share when you get more funds? So with that being said, I saw the dude, walking with the sign. He was probably like 15 feet away from me, and I'm in traffic. So I see him walking. I'm like, damn, dude, I wish I had some like money that I can give him, right? And he's walking by, and my window's a little bit open, and then I hear him singing. Like, he's singing some like whole other stuff. Like, he's singing like a rock, like a alternative country rock song. Like a song that I remember, like low key, like, you know what I mean? I like listening to rock and roll. Like I prefer listening to rock and soft alternative rock and all that, and you know what I mean, versus hip hop and hard rap. Like that was when I was in my teen years. Like I don't care much for rap anymore, especially the new rap. But I don't really care much for a rapper anymore. But he was singing one of like the old like the Q102. Well, I don't know where y'all stations are from wherever y'all tune in around the world. But one of them make you feel good songs. And his voice wasn't like harmonic. Like he didn't have like the best voice in the world. Like he should have been on like one of them America's Got Talent. But he had like the most raspy but the sincere voice, and he's all, you know, he's like, you know, not clean, his hands are dirty, like his clothes are messed up, and he got the sign, and he's like singing, and I hear him vocalizing, and a light went off in my head. It said, "Cha-ching! Check your ashtray." And I don't know, like something just said, "Cha-ching!" A light went on. I knew I didn't have no cash on me, which I wasn't lying about. But I slid my ashtray open, and he was by that time walking across the street because he passed me and all the cars went by him. So he's figuring like, damn, nobody's going to give me money. I saw the dollar bill. You know what I did? Swoop. Let's pretend this is the dollar bill. I said, swoop. Yo, excuse me, mister, yo, here, man. I ain't got much, but you know what I mean? Here, man. He said, oh, man, thank you. Bless you, dude. Bless you. I said, don't even worry about the cars behind me with us beeping. Man, I don't care about no traffic. Like, y'all going to have to hold on till I give this man $1. But little acts like that can go a long way, guys, because we have homes to hide in. We have walls to hide in. Those homeless people that are out there, the less fortunate, not call them homeless. The less fortunate people who are out there who don't have 4 walls to protect themselves in are more vulnerable than we can ever imagine. Especially the people who are on substance abuse and people who are using substances, you know. Like, for example, if you're a smoker, if you smoke anything, if you smoke cigarettes, if you smoke Mary Jane, if you smoke cigars, if you smoke Black & Milds, whatever you smoke, if you're a smoker, right now would not be the time to be sharing a cigarette or sharing a Dutch or sharing a Black & Mild or sharing a cigar. Don't share. No. You better get your own. Yo, seriously, don't share that cigarette. You know how people be like, yo, you got a short? I don't smoke, but but I know, like, I know how it is. Like, they be like, yo, you got a short? Like, I get asked all the time. I guess that's because I must look like I consume, but I don't. They be like, yo, you got a cigarette? I'm like, nah, dog, I don't smoke. I never smoked cigarettes in my life, I thought. And you know, that's passing the germs on your lips. You know what I mean? Alcohol too. When you go to a bar or people drink like vodka or drink like shots, or I don't know, like when like you get like a bottle of vodka, that's not usually like a personal bottle. Back in the day, peace out. Said Crystal said, great, Kay, great, have a great day. Gotta watch the chicken now. Ha, cool. Thank you. I appreciate all your support. Have a great day. I appreciate everybody who commented. You know what I mean? I figure comments tend to slow down the stream a little bit, and I get veered off a track. Then I start rambling off. I noticed that with my last stream. With my last stream that I did at Huntington Park, I started with a goal, and every time somebody was popping up, I was talking about what they were popping up with, and I never conveyed my message. And before you know it, at the end of the stream, I was talking about completely random stuff that had nothing to do with the title of the video. So in order to keep the video as organized as possible, I'm not really focusing or zooming in on the comments, you know, and I do apologize. I don't want nobody to get offended. But yeah, y'all. So, you know, maybe at the end of every stream, I should go like right now, like, how's everyone doing? How's everyone hanging in there? Maybe I should have a little 10-minute session at the very end of the stream after me conveying my message. How you guys doing? How's your state doing? How you mentally hanging in there? Do you have food? Are you off of work? Are you on work? Are your kids off of school? Are your kids on school? How's it going? What are you doing for fun? Not that y'all care, but for me, I've been working on my vehicle. Like, I'm so proud. Like, I'm so proud at what I did yesterday. That's how you could tell that I matured up a lot. I matured up a lot, guys. Maturity doesn't always come in age. It comes in mindset. But I still got my old $550 car radio. I got like a car radio from back when I was a youngster, when I used to play extremely loud music. My systems was crazy. Like I fell in the top category of the best systems in Philly. Like, I wasn't the top, because I know there's a lot of loud systems in Philly, but I was one of the top 10, top 15 of the loudest systems in Philly for such a small car. And I'm talking about loud and clear as in like distance and everything. But how I made myself busy, busy, and this how this goes with the story of the staying indoors stuff. This is how it goes. I don't want y'all to think that I'm rambling on about my car now. But what I did yesterday, which I made myself proud of, is I didn't install my aftermarket radio. I've been driving with radio list for a couple months now because I'm fine with just listening to the silence and ambience. I don't really listen to a lot of music, you know. And when I do, like I said, it's like soft rock. It's just soft music. It's nothing like hard, you know. But or pop and stuff like that. Crazy, right? Pop. But yeah. So I installed an OEM Honda radio to my car. And I felt good about that. I felt like I like the way it looks. It looks sleek. It looks slick. It's actually my pop's old radio, which, you know, it means something to me. I think it's dope. He had it for probably like 9, 10, 10, 11 years. Probably a little longer. I think he got it for his Accord before the Accord got totaled. I think I recall him getting it for the Accord. Did he take it out the Accord? I don't know. All I know is that in order to keep myself busy during this time of hardship and during this time of staying indoors, I installed the factory radio back in the car. And I felt good about that. And it kept me busy mentally, you know. I paid attention to the little details of the car. The last couple of days, I've just been, you know, cleaning out the little cracks and crevices, bolting up things that need to be bolted, cleaning out the trunk, just working on things. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next however long this thing lasts. Like, if I'm not with y'all, I'm going to be working on my hobbies and my interests. Because, let me stop and take a drink of water. Because since the year started, and since I started with all of those segments, you know, the segments that are on my channel, if you guys are new to my channel, go check out the channel. We made some pretty cool videos since the year started. That touch a variety of different niches and subject matters. But since the year started, I haven't really had personal time. Yeah, you know, I'm usually a hobbyist. I'm a hands-on, like, I can't sit still type of person. The longest I can sit still, I always say it, and I say it to this day, the longest time I can sit still is when I'm editing. And since I'm not editing the last couple of days because I'm no longer doing edited content until this whole sickness goes away and we can get back in motion, I just been I just have time. I'm not going to say bored because I think bored sounds bad. But I just been having time to, like, do stuff and pay attention to detail. So I've been doing my best to pay attention to detail. You know? If this thing lasts for several months, just know that I'm probably going to sand my whole car down. I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to chip out where the moldings was at. I'm going to put some moldings back in. I'm going to paint the car. Yeah, man. I just like to stay busy. But I've been able to, like, do stuff now that I haven't been able to do for a while, you know. And last year I was going through a dark time of my life where I didn't care about much. So, yeah. And then the year before that, I was doing daily vlogging for 365 days straight without a break. And then the year before that, I was doing The Box. This week on The Box unboxing series for 52 weeks straight. So I haven't really had much breaks, you know what I mean? Yo, those are seedless oranges. That's probably why they look so deep and dark. Because aren't oranges supposed to have seeds in them? Right? Aren't oranges supposed to have seeds? Like, how do you do that? How do you manufacture an orange without a seed? That's crazy, right? That's like seedless watermelons and stuff like that. That's crazy. Technology. It's kind of scary, right? So what y'all up to? Now y'all can comment there if y'all want, because I'll focus on the comments and stuff. You know what's funny? I'm streaming off of YouTube, but on this computer right here, I have YouTube on. That's pretty interesting. That's funny, right? Streaming off of YouTube, but I still got YouTube on. Yeah, I'm here looking at YouTube, you know, stuff like that. Yo, I could pull up the, what you call them? Oh, I thought I could pull up Oh, live. I thought I could pull up the stream live. I could pull up the stream live, right? Wow, it goes to show you. They already flagged the stream. It's probably because of what people was talking about in the stream. And I can't control it. And it's a shame, you know? It's a shame that you get flagged for what people talk about. It is what it is. I'm going to still do what I do. I'm going to still create because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to create. Before anything, I was here to create. I believe I was put on this earth to create, you know? It's a tough gig when you create because that's all you love to do. I've been creating since before the income. You know, before, you know, the ability to make income from YouTube. Because I remember years ago, they were like, oh, why don't you try to make income from YouTube? Why don't you try to make income from YouTube? I'm like, nah, like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to create, you know? Like, that's what I love to do. And a lot of my earlier content that thrived the most, it thrived because I just love to create, you know? But nowadays, the pennies, it's a good thing that the ma'am, she's probably not watching anymore, but Miss Crystal Roderick donated $2, two pesos. Yeah, she donated 2 pesos. So that's cool, because that probably compensated for it being now limited ads, and they get the PP sign, the little PP yellow sign. For those of you who are watching that don't know what that PP yellow sign means, it just means that it's less likely ads will play on a video with a PP sign. I shouldn't say PP sign, right? That sounds bad. With a yellow money sign. A green money sign is good. If it's the color green behind me, like the sheet that's behind me, that's good. That's a good green, you know, money sign. If the money sign is yellow, that's a bad money sign. And the last 4 or 5 streams, I've been getting a lot of yellows and yellows and yellows, and I can't really control it, and it's tough. It's not really everybody who talks about that. It's usually like the 1 or 2 people that come up and ba-bam, 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 put all this stuff, and you get, you know, penalized for it, the way the system works, you know? But what's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Was it lunchtime for some of you, right? It's 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's actually 1:08, probably like 1:10 p.m. I think this laptop is not set up correctly. I think it's like 2 minutes slower or 3 minutes slower than my cell phone. I'm eating an orange. Boost my immune system. My hands are extra sticky, so I put alcohol like on them and stuff. Don't you hate sticky hands? Yeah, but I'll be doing this, guys. Today I still got to go out. I'm going to see what it looks like with the weather, because I'm supposed to be doing a Philadelphia Hood tour today. I think today would be a great day to do a Philadelphia Hood tour since it's the first day of the shutdown or the stay inside order. So you guys can see if people really stood inside. I'm sure the rain is going to influence them staying inside. I'm sure the rain is going to influence them because nobody wants to be outside when it's raining anyway. But if it's raining heavily, that's going to kind of mess up the video because I put the camera on top of the car. I use a suction cup and I mount it on the car. And I don't know about y'all, it bothers me when raindrops get on the little action camera. Because I use an action camera. I was going to grab it, but it's like way over there. I'm not going to get up just to grab it. Wow. I use an action camera, and that action camera gets mounted onto the top of the car. And I don't got no wiper for the action camera. It's not no like little wiper. Like that'd be smart. Somebody should invent the action camera wiper. So if you want to do something like what I do, maybe I should invent it. I don't even know where to start. No, I know. You need patents, licensing, and all that stuff. But yeah, so I want to go out and do a Philadelphia Hood tour today because that's on schedule for him on Mondays. That's the one thing that I'm still going on with. I'm stopping all the other edited stuff. I didn't even do a video game stream this past Sunday. And we was doing those every 2 Sundays. And the video game streams was kind of popping. That was like some of the most popping content. But that goes to show you, I'm not here to be creating popping content. I'm not here to be making videos just because they're popular. If I wanted to continue making popular videos, I would have been still doing the game stream. In my opinion, as a human being, it's hard for me to continue playing a game, acting like everything is okay, when there's real world events that's going on. Like, that's just not me. That's not in my character. So With that being said, there's plenty of other people who do game streams, so you guys are more than welcome to visit those gamers, you know what I mean, for the time being, until things get back in the schedule. But I think the Philadelphia Hoods still is relevant to documenting what's going on right now. Because if it was a sunny day today, that would have been a real good time to see if people took that stay inside order serious. And whether people take it serious or not, I don't know. This is warning 2, so I don't know if warning 3 is going to be worse. But the city is so big, I don't think they can really police it that serious. I don't think like they can. It's hard. Like, how are you gonna monitor a whole city with over 1 million residents? We got so many blocks, so many cracks and crevices. Like, how are you gonna monitor a whole city? You can't. You can't be out here monitoring everybody. You can probably monitor the main roads, but what you gonna be doing? I mean, they probably stop you and give you a fine. You know what I mean? But then again, you could probably low key lie and say like, I don't condone this. 2215 does not condone lying. But you can probably be like, you know, if you're walking and you got to go somewhere, you're going to go to your friend's house and you walk into, well, hey, why are you out here, sir? Oh, I'm out here because I got to go take my grandma. She's 83. She needed me to go over there so I can go pick up her access card to go get her some groceries. That's mean. That's evil. No, but you could probably tell them that you got to go out for a necessity or something, and they might let you slide. But could you imagine they start giving out fines to everybody and stuff? Like, that's the way that they're going to recoup all of the city's losses. They're going to be all these fines. Yo, what y'all think about that decriminalization of certain crimes? Let me be more clear on what that means. For those of you who don't know, because I know some people don't know what I'm talking about. Last week, here in Philadelphia, PA, here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, if you did a crime such as robbery, theft, I think like simple assault, grand theft, prostitution, drug charges, etc., I think there was like several to 10. There was like several to 10 of them on the list that if they were reported in to the police or if they were caught in action, the police were not going to take them as serious. So what does that mean? For example, vandalism. Vandalism was on the list. If they saw you vandalizing a property, let's say spray painting, you was doing spray painting, putting your name up there. The cop saw you. On a regular day, the cop would, hey, you, what are you doing? Whether you want to run or not. If he catches you, he's just going to arrest you, put you in the car, take you to the precinct, process you. You'll do your 24 hours or you'll get out on ROR, on your own reconnaissance or whatever that stuff's called. And then you'll get sent home and you got a court date and everything, right? That's on a normal day. Last week, what they announced here in Philadelphia is if you get caught for crimes that aren't considered life-threatening or simple or like not worth it, what they're going to do is they'll stop you for doing that graffiti. Hey, you, stop. Come here. They're going to take down your name. They're going to take down your social. They're going to take down your address. They're going to take down everything. They're going to process it in their system, and they're going to give you a warrant. So in the future, when all this stuff subsides, whether it's in 3 months, whether it's in 6 months, whether it's in 10 months, when this stuff subsides, you're going to have a court-ordered warrant to come to the district and then get registered. Like, how crazy does that sound? How crazy does that sound? I'm going to tell you, since I heard that, robberies have been up. Like, physical robberies have been up. Like, I've seen, like, several plus robberies have been up. And, like, middle of daylight and, like, popular areas, robberies have been up. Shootings have been up slightly. And I think shooting... And they said, let me be clear, they did say, like, if you seem like a threat to society, then they are going to take you and process you. They're not gonna like disregard you if you got a gun and you're out there shooting people. They're gonna lock you up because you're a threat. But if you're doing simple stuff like Grand Theft Auto, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto. Here in Philadelphia, they did 3 Grand Theft Auto. All right, let me see how will we classify this? How would I use this? What's the correct terminology? 3 acts of Grand Theft Auto took place here in Philadelphia, PA, day after day after day within a 1 mile perimeter. Now, if that ain't the same person that's doing it, then I don't know who is. But listen, let me explain it to you. On day 1, and this is right after they announced this whole, they're not going to be locking you up for less serious crimes. They went up to somebody in a CRV, a Honda CRV, while he or she was still in traffic. And they put the gun to them, say, get out the vehicle, and they drove off in their car. Day two, the next day, several dozen blocks away from where that was taking place at, the next day, they robbed somebody for their Honda Accord. Get out the car. The next day, they did the same thing, and they were all three Hondas. All those three incidences that happened day after day after day, since that was announced, was a Honda. Gun, give me your car, go. And at that point, it's like, once they're in your car and they're gone, it's bad enough that they got your keys. But once they're in your car and they're gone, there's no way that you're going to get them. And I think certain criminals or certain people who commit these crimes feel as though now's their time to take advantage to make money or to make income, because what they're going to do with them cars that they stole, they're going to take the car to a chop shop. Chop shop's going to strip the car. They'll take it to the chop shop and say, yo, I got a 2015 CRV for you. That's $1,200 or that's $1,700. They can't get top dollar for the car because it's stolen and they don't have the title or nothing. But the engine can be sold. The door panels can be sold. The fenders, the hood, the trunk, the lights, the tail lights, the transmission. They'll strip that thing down to a bone. Then they'll chop it with a sawzall in a bunch of pieces. They'll throw it in a pickup truck and they'll take it to a scrapyard. Or they'll, even worse, they'll burn it. They'll put the frame somewhere. I've been seeing this since I was a little kid. They will burn it. That was right after this whole, they're not going to take crime serious, can't take light crime serious anymore. Not only that, but not too far from me. Not too far from me. Like literally a block from me. They did 2 burglaries. 2 burglaries. On the same 100 block, just on the opposite side of the park. Right after this order was put into place. So I don't know if you understand what I'm understanding, but I feel as though if they weren't going to take those crimes serious anymore, there was no need to announce it on a newscast or put it on the World Wide Web. There was no need to announce it. That could have been between every officer and the criminal themselves. That's it. You didn't need to announce it to everybody on the World Wide Web that if we catch you stealing or going into a store and stealing, that we're not going to lock you up, that we're just going to take your information down and you can come back when all this is over. Because they're looking at it like, yay, I get more time to go steal. And if I get caught 1 out of the 20 times, then I stole 20 days worth of goods. I only got caught once and I got to go back. So I pretty much made my money back. And the same goes with the cars and everything in the robberies. There's been a spike in robberies. And I mean, some people are comparing it to like the Purge. No, I don't think it's necessarily like the Purge. The Purge is something completely different. But it's like a soft-core Purge. It is. It's like a really soft-core, simple Purge. Like, you can get away with stuff, and that's crazy. Can you imagine somebody does get their information taken and they do have a warrant and they just skip town, and when this is all over with, they go down to Mexico and they never serve their warrant? That's it. They just bounce. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be crazy. I mean, I think that'd be stupid for like petty crimes, but it is no joke, guys. It's no joke. I think that should have just been between the officer and the defendant? That should have been between the officer and the person who committed the crime. So if Officer Bill pulls over Tommy because Tommy's doing graffiti, you still apprehend him like you normally would. You bring him over. Tommy, give me all your information. Input it to the computer. All right, Tommy, there's going to be a warrant out for your arrest. I'm going to let you go this time. You're going to go home. But in several months or however long it takes, you're going to receive a court subpoena to come in the mail. Bam! That's it. Only him and Tommy needed to know. And so on. Whoever they pulled over, so on. But by them announcing it, I think they basically screwed not only themselves, but they screwed us all up as citizens. Like, they screwed us over because I believe in my heart that more people are taking advantage of it because they know that the police aren't as strict no more right now because of this whole sickness that's going around. That's the situation, you know what I mean? So it's that serious, guys, here in Philly. In Philly, we have our non-essential stores closed, our schools are closed, the stadiums closed. I know y'all know about the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, the MLB. Those are all closed. It's so serious, guys. You know how there's a shortage in masks, there's a shortage in face masks, and there's a shortage in gowns, there's a shortage in gloves, right? And shortage in goggles and all that stuff. It's so serious that there's medical shows on TV. You know how there's like medical series? You know, medical, like a medical series, right? Like a TV show. You know what I'm talking about, like a Netflix series. Their medical series. It's so serious right now that there's medical series that are canceling their seasons and donating all of their medical supplies that are props that they use for the show, because they're not real doctors. They're just on the show, you know, pretending clear. We need an IV, right? They're over there pretending to be doctors because they're actors. It's so serious right now, since these real medical people out there don't have masks. These series are postponing or canceling their series. They're no longer shooting episodes, and they're donating all of their stash to the real hospitals and to the real people who are fighting. Because what they're saying is that the real nurses and the real doctors and stuff that are out there fighting this, they don't have a lot of masks. They don't have a lot of gloves. They don't have a lot of... So some of them are even told to take the mask, when you're done using it, put it in a Ziploc bag and take it back out and use it. And use it for dozens of patients until it soils, until it soils up. Which is questionable, man. It's crazy. I know they said something about somewhere like, this is the land where we're able to manufacture firearms and ammunition, etc., at such a rapid pace. But we can't manufacture face masks? Think about that. Like, we can manufacture firearms and all that stuff. We can manufacture cars, but we can't manufacture face masks. Speaking of cars, GM, Ford, and Honda and mad dealerships, not dealerships, manufacturers, the companies that make the cars and send them to dealerships, close. There's a lot of things that are closed right now, guys. It was originally supposed to be a 2-week shutdown. Then they said like 8 weeks. Now there's words out, it's like 3 months to 6 months, right? There's word out there that it could be from 3 months to 6 months. People are talking about just keep it closed for a whole year and just wait till January of 2021. I mean, it's tough. And then those little stimulus checks, like how y'all feel about them stimulus checks? Whoever's watching, how do you feel about that? I got a little bit more refined info about that. I kind of know a little bit more. I don't know if you guys care to know more about it, because I kind of know more about it. So the stimulus check is going to be given to adults. I'm going to be clear. Let me say everything first, and then after I say everything, then you're going to be able to understand what I'm talking about. The stimulus checks are going to be given to adults over 18 who paid taxes in 2018. Meaning, if you worked in 2018 and you filed an income tax return, that's how they're going to base who gets the stimulus check. Now, there's going to be, I believe, 3 different types of stimulus checks sent. Stimulus check A. Now, none of this is 100% factual, but it's pretty factual because I've been following it pretty well. So don't hold me to this and be like, yo, where my check? Toon said I was supposed to get a check. You always got to just follow up with the news and follow up with Google and learn. And if you have to, call your state office, which will probably be closed. But if you file taxes in 2018, every adult over 18 is going to get a $1,200 stimulus check. If you file taxes as married, every couple will get a $2,400 stimulus check. $2,400. That's $1,200 plus $1,200. Together makes $2,400. Now here's the problem. If you didn't pay taxes, you're not going to get that $1,200 check. If you didn't work in 2017 to file taxes in 2018, you're not going to get that $1,200 check. To my knowledge, they're still going to send out a $600 check though. Now, don't hold me to that. That might change in a week or two. I don't know. They've been changing the numbers. I've heard high numbers. I've heard low numbers until I started learning about this more factual playing field of $1,200, $2,400, or $600. $600 is for the people who don't work or didn't pay enough taxes. Not don't work. My bad. It ain't even don't work. I think $600 is to people who didn't pay over, I think, like they said like $2,000 in taxes or something. So you probably work, but you work like a part-time job or you work something low. Anyway, $600 to the people who didn't make much. And these $1,200 checks are only going to people who make less than $75,000 or less than $100,000 as a couple. If you make more than $75,000 a year, you're not gonna get a check. If you and your wife make more than $100,000 a year, you're not gonna get a check. What are these checks for? What are you supposed to be using these checks for? For resources, for food. My advice would be food. Now, there will come a time that if that check does happen, there's supposed to be, to my knowledge, not one, but 2 payments per person that qualifies and falls in that criteria. So there'll be one sent out in April and there'll be one sent out in May. My advice is, because what's going to happen is once everybody gets that check, people are going to go crazy spending it on everything. The thing is, there's going to be a lot of things closed. So, I mean, there's not going to be many things for them to spend it on. It's not going to be like you're going to be able to go out sneaker shopping with your $1,000 because the stores are going to be closed. You know what I mean? It's only going to be the essential stores open. But my advice would be try not to go bombard it all the first day because, you know, the store's going to be packed and you don't want to be in an overwhelmed location where there's a lot of idling or standing still and you're around people. You want to make sure to always have your personal space. Try not to go on the first day once you get that money. And when you get that money, I recommend spending that money on as many canned goods as you can. Rice, grains, oats. I don't really eat oats, but for the people who eat oats and like oatmeal and all that stuff, pastas, a lot of canned goods. If you ask me, invest that in canned goods as much as you can. And then if you have to, you know, I don't know if you want to, you can get like a little generator, a little $100-some generator, and then get like $70, $80 of like gas, like your gas canteens. Get those gas canteens, save them and store them. Why? Just call me crazy. A little light bulb switched in my head, but if for some apparent reason we lose power, just for some apparent reason, we just happen to lose power, you're going to want to have some way to cook your food. And with a generator, you can still plug up appliances, a microwave, toaster ovens. If you don't have one already, invest in like a little electric skillet. You know, those little electric hot pan skillets. It comes with like 2 hot pans. You know what I mean? Where you can plug it up to a wall. Well, since you're not going to have power on the wall, have a hot pan skillet. So in case, for some apparent reason, if not now, this year, in the future, if there's no power, you have your own little generator where you can pour gas in it and cook your food and do whatever you have to do. But I advise spending that money on the essentials. Don't go spending that money on junk. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your money. I can't tell you how to spend your money. So it's your money. You spend it on whatever you want. But I foresee people buying junk. I foresee people buying chains, jewelry. I foresee people like all the bike life coach. You're gonna like, what? They gonna give me $1,000 check, $200 check? They gonna go buy dirt bikes, and they can still get a dirt bike because all you gotta do is gonna offer up in Craigslist, and there's still people that's gonna be trying to buy dirt bikes and sell dirt bikes and stuff. So you know what I mean? I foresee that money, unfortunately, going to some bad usage. You know what I mean? And let's say if anybody has a bad habit, like substance abuse, they might spend that check in substance abuse. But to each his own. These are just like, you know, opinions. Nothing is factual here. I don't want you guys to, my word is the only word to live by. I'm just giving some simple recommendations. Drink a little bit more water. I think I started to stream with a new bottle, right? And I'm about done. We've been streaming for what? 83 minutes and 46 seconds. Thank you to everybody who's been commenting, thumbsing up. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit a thumbs up, because by thumbs upping on the video, you're helping this video get seen. If you missed the beginning portion of the video, it contains a little bit more education to it. Towards the last 20 minutes or so, I just been summing things up and giving like personal opinions. But if you care to learn more facts and more knowledge, I was using websites as reference. And yeah, just, you know, I'm gonna still be out there until things get crazy. I'm gonna be out there until dudes come out there in like suits with the little, sir, what are you doing? Get down. I'm like, get down, dog, get down. drop it like it's hot, I'm gonna get down. I am not arguing with no one. But until like things get bad, I'm gonna still be out there doing my best to document. I feel like this past week I had went to a supermarket. I should have. Next supermarket I go in, I'm gonna go in with a body cam. That's gonna be the next thing I'm gonna use, because if y'all remember when I did the last Save a Lot one and I walked through with my camera, they told me not to record. What happens when I got a body cam on? I have a body cam. What happens when I put the strap and it's like a vest and I have the camera right here on my chest and nobody see? I'm just pushing a cart, pushing a cart, and I press record. I'm gonna do that. The next one I'm gonna do that because I should have did that to begin with, but I wasn't thinking. Yeah, so expect what to expect from this channel for the next couple of weeks until this clears up. You're gonna expect more updates. I'm gonna be using the World Wide Web as reference for updates. I'm gonna be using self-taught knowledge and things that I learned through multiple resources as updates. I'm gonna be talking to you guys. I wanna see how you guys are doing. There's gonna be some streams where I'm gonna be more involved and focused on the comments. There's gonna be some streams like today where people are gonna be commenting and I'm not gonna really be focused on them. That's just so I don't ramble on or about a variety of different subjects and not execute my purpose of the stream. Then there's going to be streams where I'm going to be out there. I really want to see the city. I mean, I don't want to see it. It's kind of crazy because I know right now in New York, from what I hear, is completely shut down. Like, they're showing me footage of Times Square. It's ghost town. And, you know, Times Square is never ghost town. So I don't mind being out there if like Market Street gets ghost town and gets empty. I don't mind being out there with my little camera. Yo, what's up, y'all? Tune. So we out here. Look at this ghost. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind being out there. But do I want to see it like that? Nah. I just prefer things to go back to like the way they were, so we can all, you know, try to work on the new norm. Because although it hasn't probably touched you or affected you yet, there's thousands of people, over 10, 12,000 people just in America alone that have been affected personally, you know, and the I believe the lost numbers are at around what 400 now. I think we're at globally, we're at like almost 400,000 cases. Last I checked, it was like 340,000 or something, 350,000, something like that. America, last I checked, was at like 25,000 cases and like 400 or so losses. So yeah, guys, and the number's just going to continue to grow. Just know that we're still in the earlier phase. The incubation period is from 7, well, yeah, it says 7 to 14 days, and on some very rare cases, 21 days. And also, there's been very rare cases where people will be discharged as recovered, and 5 days later, they get sick again, and they end up back in the hospital. So that's crazy, y'all. Super duper crazy. Well, I think that concludes today's broadcasting, at least for now. I will go out there and try to capture some footage later. The rain is kind of messing things up, but I'll do my best. And expect more from me, you know? Make sure to subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can be notified every time a video is dropped. And also, if you thumbs up the video, my videos will also come up in your feed more, just to give you a heads up. I know some people say that they've been having trouble or they don't get notified. If you engage with the video, I believe YouTube is going to continue to recommend you the video. If you don't engage in the video, let's say if you just watch the video. I'm sorry, I'm eating an orange in case y'all wondering what I'm doing. Let's say if you just watch the video, but you don't engage with it. You don't thumbs up it. You don't turn on your notification bell. You don't subscribe or whatever, but you just watch it. It's a good chance that I might not come up in your feed if you do want to learn from me again. Some people might pop in for 5 minutes and say, yeah, this dude's channel is not my type of channel. Some other people might want to retain the information and might like the way that I convey the message. So, to each his own, guys. One last thing about eating before I bounce, because I'm about to leave. Like, I'm about to cut all this off. You know what's quite intriguing? I hate with a maximum percentage. I have the biggest pet peeve of people staring at me when I eat. I don't eat in public places. I don't like to eat at dinner tables. I don't like to eat with people looking at me. I don't like it. It's part of my OCD. I don't like it. I don't like people talking to me about my food. I don't like people asking me about my food. It's OCD. It's a tick in the back of my head that's been there for mad years since I was a teenager. It just bothers me. So to think that now, fast forward to now, I'm comfortable enough to like take food, put it in my mouth, and eat it in front of the World Wide Web, where not only you guys, the live viewers, can watch me eat food, but y'all can play this back in the future, and anybody from the world can watch this. That's the craziest part. You know, I guess sometimes, you know, you have to grow, you know, and I've been making little baby changes throughout the years to try to like get out of some of my old bad habits. I don't think not wanting people to stare at you eating is a bad habit though. It can limit me to certain social environments though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like eating in front of people. I really don't, you know? And probably still to this day, if you was right here in front of me and I had like, let's say there's 3 people watching and all 3 of y'all was here looking at me, I wouldn't eat this. I will wait until I left the room and then, or till y'all left or something, but I would not eat it. But I can do it now because we're on a stream and the only person here is Jersey and she's sleeping. Oh man, that was a horrible piece of orange. Wow, that was like the pulp. All right, guys. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your comments, your questions, and concerns, even though I didn't get to catch them all. I hope you guys have a great, marvelous, and magnificent day. Be careful. Don't touch your eyes. Don't touch your nose. Don't touch your mouth. Tell that to your kids. Tell that to your little brothers. Tell that to your little sisters. Tell that to your nieces and nephews. They're hard-headed. You got to keep reminding them. I'll holla at y'all. I gotta go. Peace. Adios, amigo.